Hello, welcome back to the Benefits of Bipolar video series again. But I had a really cool question asked of me 2 days ago that I wanted to address here, and that was, what are the drawbacks of sharing my story, revealing my diagnosis with work, people at work, strangers, family, and loved ones? So I just kind of want to take a minute here and kind of discuss each one of them. Importantly, though, first and foremost, I just want to start by saying overall, the result of it has been just enormously positive for me. I don't know how else to say it. Just enormously uplifting. I have odd, and I never ever ever thought I would say these words. It feels weird and whatever, but I feel like I have a community of people living with bipolar that I can interact with, that I can ask questions of, answer questions for, and just feel less lonely and more like a lot of other people on Instagram. I mean, I'll just tell you that right now. And knowing that at least some people relate with what I have to say has made it beyond worth it. So I just wanted to start off right there. You know, there are negatives that come to that. I got my first troll, I guess, a couple weeks ago, and I actually thought it was hilarious and kind of fun. But I've seen other one examples of that where it's absolutely not. So there are drawbacks along the line. But again, I just want to start off by saying, for me, I wouldn't take it back for a second. That goes with my family and friends and work, as I'll get into as well. So to start out, I'm just going to start out with work. Work, I've had two jobs since my diagnosis. I was very careful, as you'll catch on to a theme here at first, with who I shared with. And it's positive and negative. I mean, it really is, especially at work. You know, bosses see you as employees, other employees, I was in sales, see you as probably more vulnerable, more available to take sales from, or whatever. I mean, and wherever you are, people are going to see you as bipolar. Some people. I've take that back, but some people are going to only see you as bipolar. So if it's not something that you can really kind of handle that, and I'll be honest, I wasn't very good at it. It led to me not sharing for a while. Now it's kind of hard to keep that cat in the bag with all of this, but it's still worth it. It's still worth it because at work, I have a couple of people who are very safe people for me at work and outside of work. I mean, a couple of my absolute best friends in the world, the person who got me to start the stupid YouTube channel, I met him at work, and we bonded over my story and some of his story, and so it just brought us together. So moving into strangers, I'm really careful here. I'll just keep this relatively. I'm very careful. I do not share with strangers unless I have a very good feeling with them, from them, and perceptiveness, I think, comes with being constantly worried about what other people think for 20 years. But I unless I get a very good feeling that they're going to respond well and with understanding or asking questions, I really don't share, and if I do and it goes anywhere but a very positive way, I change the subject quickly. I've been bartending for years. It comes up there sometimes. But again, what I'll take the second to say is, at other times it's come up and I wasn't sure which way it was going to go, and immediately was their response was very positive. Or, I know somebody, what's it like? Can I ask you a question? Things like that. I'll say this though, because at work, when I first started telling strangers, man, I could probably talk about it for 30 seconds or a minute before I started shaking and sweating, honestly. So over time it does get a little bit easier, but don't be surprised if it's extremely emotional when you first start talking about it and revealing it with people. Hopefully that gets better over time, and it has, and especially with people who respond well to it. But keep that in mind. Friends, it's just overwhelmingly positive. I've had a couple of people that I've mentioned before that I wasn't close with anymore reach out, that I've renewed relationships with. I have people that were friends, but that honestly probably held me at arm's length for good reason for many, many years, that I'm much, much closer with. And that goes for family too. I've had a couple instances with friends, and not really, I don't think family, where the response, but most of the time they just don't understand. So it's not that I've really had to cut anybody out of my life. I just don't share or call those people when I need something. If I'm doing well and I want to spend time with them, that's when I give them a call. But when there's not always, I don't always have that room for it. So even as I go along, I'm very careful with how much I share, what I share, and with who. A little bit more vulnerable on here, on Instagram, obviously. But again, the responses have been so positive. So positive. Again, that community, that not feeling as alone that you do feel a lot of times when you have mental illness, it's just been so positive. The deepening of relationships that I've had with my family and my friends, I wouldn't take back for the world. I'll fight through a couple of the difficult things. So yeah, I don't. I will end with this. This isn't to say everybody should share their diagnosis. This isn't to say everybody should do this. This isn't. Everybody has their own limits. Everybody has to be comfortable. If you want to try, start slow. But it's just been so positive for me. I love it. I'm gonna get outside. We finally have a great day up here. But thank you to this person for sending a question. I hope this offered a little bit more clarity. And please keep interacting. I love this, and thank you all. Appreciate it.